Hello and welcome to this new video. The main character Madoka has a dream about the end of the world. In this dream she sees an unknown girl fighting. Furthermore, a cat is in the dream, which offered her a contract to save the world. Shortly after that she also woke up. The next day at school she finds out that she has a new classmate. The new classmate was in her dream. She introduces herself as Homura. Afterwards, the classmates surround her to get to know her a little better. Only this was too much for her, which is why she goes to the infirmary together with Madoka. On the way it turns out that she knows her way around the school very well. That's why she probably won't have been to school for the first time. After a while, Homura stopped. She tells Madoka not to change. However, this sounded very serious. After that, the two also separated. In the meantime, we see that Homura is performing top-notch in all school discipline. In the afternoon, Madoka hears a cry for help. She also follows this cry for help. At some point, she meets the cat from the dream. This cat is chased by Homura. Sayaka also comes at some point. Together with the cat they run away. On their way, they are suddenly surrounded by strange figures. To get out of this situation, Mami suddenly appears. Mami uses her abilities to make the figures disappear. A few minutes later, the cat introduces itself as Kyubey. After that, the cat asks the two girls to become magical girls. Through this pact, they can fulfill any wish. As a tribute, they have to create a soul stone. To this we are told that magical girls are created consciously, while witches are created by a curse. Their tasks are to compete against these witches. Since the two girls are not quite convinced yet, they go on a witch hunt together with Mami. In the evening they also set out. They find the witch in an abandoned building. We learn that these strange worlds are created by witches. In the middle of the world, they find the witch. The witch throws objects at Mami, but she manages to avoid them. Mami continues to try to confront the witch. To finally defeat her, she creates a huge pistol. With the pistol, she also defeats the witch. After the fight, they got a witch egg. These witch eggs are important for the mages to recharge their power. The next day Sayaka visits her sick friend. He was a gifted violin player at that time. But at some point he broke his arm, which is why he can no longer play the violin. A little later, the friends go hunting again. This time, however, they are not hunting a witch, but a fragment of her, which was no problem at all for Mami. The next day they saw a spell circle in front of the hospital. Sayaka went ahead with Kyubey. Meanwhile Madoka fetched Mami to the assistants. Together they also entered the spell circle, but they were also pursued by Homura. Only Mami ties her up so that she can't follow. As a twosome, they then run on. On the way Madoka decides to become a magical girl. Only they must first defeat the witch. The witch attacked this time with lots of little creatures. Mami thought she could defeat the witch very quickly, but she was very wrong. All her shots had no effect at all. Without further ado, she was also killed by the witch. This allowed Homura to escape. She immediately went to the girls to help them. Shortly after, she also defeated the witch. The two girls were very sad about the events, which is why they don't want to become magical girls for the time being. In the evening, Madoka brings some things to Mami's apartment. After she goes back, she meets Homura. Together they talk about Mami. After the conversation, they also went home. Meanwhile, Sayaka visits her boyfriend in the hospital again. The two talk about music. She brings him music. Only this made him mad because he can no longer play an instrument. On the way back Madoka meets her classmate Hidemi. This is controlled by a witch. When she follows her, Madoka is captured by the witch. To escape from captivity, Sayaka came as a magical girl to free her. In order for her to become a magical girl, she made a pact with Kyubey. She wished that she had healing powers. Through her powers, her boyfriend Kyosuke was healed. After that, the two also made up. In the evening, Sayaka also went on her first witch hunt as a magical girl. In front of the building, Madoka is waiting for Sayaka. Madoka wants to support her on this hunt. While they are on the way, they are attacked by Kyoko. Sayaka stands in her way. Without further ado, they also start fighting. Only Kyoko is much too strong for them. Before Sayaka is defeated, Homura interferes. Homura knocks Sayaka unconscious so that they don't fight anymore. Afterwards, Homura wants to fight against Kyoko. Only since she is too weak and she rather runs away. The next day, Sayaka goes to the hospital to visit her boyfriend. Only the boyfriend has already been discharged. Thereupon she leaves the hospital. In front of the hospital, Kyoko is already waiting for her. Kyoko wants to continue the fight again. To do this, they go to an abandoned bridge. Kyubey tells Madoka about it. Shortly after, Madoka sets off to help her friend. In the meantime, Homura has also arrived. Homura supports Kyoko because she wants Kyoko to protect this region and not Sayaka. A little later, Madoka arrives as well. She wants to prevent this fight. To do that, she throws Sayaka's soul stone down from the bridge. Only she did not know that Sayaka dies by it, because her body is only a shell, which must not be more than 100 meters away from the stone. The magical girls live because their soul is in the stone. Their body itself is immortal. They can only die if their soul stone is destroyed. Because of this, Homura sets out to retrieve the soul stone. With the help of her magic, she manages to catch up with the moving car. A few minutes later, she also brings the soul stone back to Sayaka. Thereby she lives again. After that, the troupe also separates. The next day, Sayaka is depressed because she can never die again. Because of the body, she also has to hunt witches for the rest of her life. A few hours later, Kyoko visits her. Kyoko takes her to a church. There she tells Sayaka the story of her family, that by her wish, the whole family died. Only Sayaka still does not understand why Kyoko is always so selfish. Even through the life story, the two do not understand each other better. In the next few days, Sayaka tries to vent her frustration on the witches. Madoka also notices this. After a while, we learn from Kyubey that Madoka has the power to change the entire world. In order to protect every magical girl with this power, she wants to make a pact with Kyubey. But before that happens, Homura intervenes, preventing the pact. Meanwhile, Sayaka has contaminated her soul so much that it turns into a witch. This contamination came about because she did not use the magic she had gained on her soul. While she transforms, Kyoko is by her side. Homura also joins her. Homura has the ability to stop time. By doing so, they manage to save Sayaka as well. After a while, they meet Madoka. Only the rescue was too late, because her soul stone was destroyed by the transformation. After that, Madoka was mentally down. However, Kyoko and Madoka don't let it get them down. They try to find a solution together to bring Sayaka back. In order to succeed, they confront the witch form of Sayaka. In this way, they try to reverse the transformation. Homura also comes to the rescue during the fight. Since Madoka falls unconscious during the fight, Kyoko takes care of the witch alone. Meanwhile, Homura takes the unconscious Madoka to escape. During the fight, Kyoko had no chance against the witch, which is why she also died. A little later, we learn from Kyubey that a dangerous witch is coming to town. This witch is said to be so strong that a magical girl alone has no chance. To that we see a flashback of Homura. In the flashback, Mami is still alive. Madoka is also a magical girl there. Together they have to fight against the legendary witch. So the witch should appear in the next few days again. In the flashback we see how Homura has gained her power. The reason was because Mami and Madoka died against the witch. Her wish was to manipulate time. Because of that, she also knew what was going to happen. In the flashback we also learn why Homura chased Kyubey in the beginning. Because in every reality Madoka dies and she blames Kyubey. Because it was through him that the magical girls came into being. The biggest problem with this is that Madoka in her witch form kept destroying the whole time world. After the flashback, the dangerous witch also appears. Her name is Walpurgis. Homura faces her all alone. She desperately tries to fight against the witch. Only the witch is much too strong for her. Madoka also notices this. Therefore Madoka decides to make a pact. Her wish is to destroy all witches that have ever existed. Thus never again a magical girl should die. Through the wish, all witches will be transformed back into humans. To the complete universe is also saved, and the anime then also goes to the end. I hope you liked the summary. If so, then leave a like or comment there.